is the continuation video of how I made this graduation dress for my daughter. If you're interested, please watch till the end, like, share and subscribe to my channel to watch more videos like this. But first, let me start by introducing myself. Hi, my name is Lilian of Lilian Fashion Lab, and I talk about everything fashion, pattern drafting, physical and online tutoring, and many more. So let's get started. So in the last video, we stopped at where I cut all the material. So this video is going to be all about sewing. So as you can see, I've gone ahead to sew the skirt of the dress. I've gone ahead to sew my skirt, and as you can see, the center back, just like I said in the previous video, the center back, I'm only going to be adding the zip. I'm going to be closing the rest of the back, the center back of this skirt, and the reason is because I'm going to be opening up a side at the front, so we don't need the slit at the back. So I'm going to sew it. Then I'm going to go ahead and mark out the necessary measurements to sew for the skirt. And please don't forget that while marking out your final measurement, make sure that you're adding ease. Don't make it your exact measurement. Make sure you're adding your wearing ease, which is the allowance that we usually call it. So I'm going to be using this opportunity to inform you that if you are watching this video before the 12th of August, there is a free 3-day sewing and pattern drafting workshop coming up on the 12th of August in Ibadan. So if you are in Ibadan, if your location is in Ibadan and you are interested to know how pattern drafting is being done, it is called an introduction into pattern drafting, and it is totally free. It is free. All you have to do is just come with your paper, come with your pencil, your ruler, your fabric, and that is all you need. So this workshop is going to be happening on the 12th of August, and it is starting by 11 a.m. So after sewing that, I'm going to go ahead and start sewing the bodies of this dress. So the first thing we're going to do is to sew our main fabric, which is the brocade fabric. And before I made the brocade fabric, I've gone ahead to add my interfacing, which is the hairstay for the full body and the gum stay. I forgot the name of this material for the breast padding. So you are going to do that before you start sewing. If you have enough material, you can decide to do that also for your lining. But if you don't have enough interfacing, you can just let it be and continue sewing. So after sewing the front, the lining for the lining and the main fabric, I'm going to go ahead and join it by the side by 1/2 inch, and also on the upper part by 1/2 inch. After doing that, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the back. I'll join it at the dart lines. I'm going to be joining it there, and I will do the same thing for the lining. And please, while joining, make sure that you are using the exact side of you're using the exact side of the fabric. For this one, because I'm making it to look like a corset, I'm going to be sewing it on the right side. Then after sewing it, I'm going to turn it over, just like you can see me do. I'll turn it over and close the seam. I'm going to do the same thing for the lining. So after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and join the lining and the fabric together. I'll be sewing 1/2 inch on the upper part and 1/2 inch on the zipper and the loop and the side. So after doing that, on the loop area, I'm going to be sewing it on 1/2 inch. I'll be sewing both the material and the lining on 1/2 inch to hold a boning. The technique that we are being taught is that we are going to to make the loop area more sustainable and more thicker, and that's to avoid it to lose. We all know that brocade fabric, some of these brocade fabric are very, very light and they are fraying in nature. So most of what we were taught is we are going to add boning to it, but this is another method of making a loop area more thicker and more sustainable. No, now this method is what I found out myself. So, and it is using our breast pad. We're going to be using our breast pad to make that place more thicker and more sustainable. And the reason is because I would prefer to use the breast pad, and that is why. And the reason is because it is going to make it more thicker. So we don't need to be using boning. Instead of sewing boning to the fabric, it's best we use breast pad. Don't forget to learn it on this channel. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll be teaching you more tricks into how to make things easier for you on this channel. So let's continue. So after doing that, I'm going to be adding my plastic boning to the boning panels. And please don't forget that this is not a real corset. It is a Bustier corset I made into a it is a Bustier top I made into a look-alike corset. There are more techniques to make a corset. There are more advanced techniques to make a corset, but this is just like a look-alike. So if you want to make a corset but you don't want it to look like, if you don't want to make a corset but you want it to look like a corset, yes, you can use this method. So I'm going to go ahead and iron out my dress. So after the back, after ironing it, I'm going to be taking it to the market to add my eyelet to it, and trust me, it was much more sustainable than even using a ridgeline boning. So this is how it looks after sewing, after adding my eyelet. So I'm going to go ahead and join it, the front and the back together. And please don't forget that while taking your measurements, you're not going to be adding any ease for this. And the reason is because it is supposed to look like a corset. So in order for it to look like a corset, you always make sure that it is very, very fitted. And don't forget that we are going to be I'm going to be folding the lower part. If you notice, while sewing, I did not sew the lower part, and that is because I'm going to be sewing it on the outside. I'm going to be sewing the lower part of the dress of the bustier top on the outside. So the next thing, after sewing that, the next thing that we're going to do is to drape our 2 nets on the dress. So this is where I'm draping it. So please just watch and learn how I did that. And don't forget that when it comes to draping, you're going to be needing a lot of needles and a lot of pins and a lot of needles and threads. Now, don't forget that you can also make this instead of draping on instead of draping on the model or draping on the mannequin. You can actually decide to drape it on the dress before joining the lining and the main fabric together. So there are 2 options. You can either drape it on the model or drape it on the owner of the dress, or you drape it before you join the lining and the fabric together. And if you know you are interested in learning more about pattern drafting, registration is also going on for the September batch. So if you are interested, come and register for our September batch. So after pinning it down, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to tack it down to hold on to the draping. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out the sleeve and sew it on the I'm going to be sewing the sleeve to the dress off camera. I forgot to record that. So for the ruffles, I'm going to fold my 2 net fabric into 4 or 8, depending on how much you do. Then I'm going to be cutting it on 2 inches strip. So you can decide to cut yours more wider than this, but this is what I want, 2 inches. So after cutting it in 2 inches strip, I'm going to be using my gather foot to gather the ruffles. So this is how it looks after gathering the 2 nets. So after doing this, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to sew it on the side. As you can see, I've opened the side, so I'm going to be sewing it on the side. So how many layers I decide to make it. For this one, I used 4 to 5 layers. So I used 4 to 5 layers for this one, which I believe was okay because I did not want it to be too much. So this is where we are going to be ending this tutorial. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. If you have more questions for me, please leave it in the comment section. Thank you. See you in the next one. Bye.